Welcome back to Rose and Reed's podcast. I'm Sophia.
I'm Haley.
Yay, today we're here talking about The Housemaid.
So good, so creepy.
Ooh, it was very creepy.
It's a
thriller suspense. I loved it.
I loved every single bit about this book.
Oh, me too. I finished it in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Literally, it was just like start to finish, done. So good.
I listened to it. So I actually loved the audio and how
are the voices?
The voices. Not Nina. Nina talked like this and was very proper. And
I could see that.
Yeah, she was. She was very proper. What was the name?
Millie.
Millie kind of talked like this. And Millie was
it the same lady using different voices?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which it didn't sound cheesy. Like I'm making it sound cheesy, but I actually liked the tone and the vibe of it. And Andy. Yeah, that's what she would.
Oh man, that man.
The wife, Andy would go here. Andy. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay. Before we jump right in, do we have anything to whine about today, Haley?
Okay.
Let's whine about it.
Let's whine about
Cheers.
it because I have had a heck of a time. I got a new car, which yay, happy about, but it got hit.
Super cute car. Unfortunate
2024, and I was taking my kids to school, and somebody just like hit the front of my light. And
did they sideswipe you?
Yeah, the other person, I was in the right lane, the car was in the left. The car that hit me was turning like in front of both of us because the other person had let them came through. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Like, so they were coming in front of both of us, turning left.
That sucks.
I just didn't see him. I didn't know he was turning, and he thought I was like waving him in.
Oh.
So I get where he was coming from, but I didn't even see him. So
he came out of nowhere.
It wasn't like it was just a totaled mess, like a huge old wreck. It was more like a fender bender just in the front, my light. But it's still annoying because I still have to go to get it fixed. I have a rental. I have no idea when my car's getting fixed.
Yeah.
And
it's a brand new car.
And my kid likes this one better. So
don't you love that? Kids are great in that way.
I just kind of, like, why can't you hit my car that I've had for like 8 years, my other Nissan? Like,
it's so funny how that happens. You get a brand new car, it gets hit. If you drive a crap car for 20 years,
not a scratch.
Nothing bad happens.
I don't know. Whatever. It's minor. Nobody's injured. Thank the Lord. But it was just like, kind of annoying. Just a little like I'm whining about it because.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing to whine about.
Yeah, I guess. What are you whining about? Anything
crazy? Maybe global warming, because do we even use that term anymore? Probably not. But the rain, there's just so much rain. Oh, you cannot plan anything right now.
Rain, tornadoes.
Like
we've had hurricanes. We've had tornadoes. Like last week before. I mean,
Rogers got hit bad, man.
So, and then just the rain. It's summer and we can't even go swimming. Like, what?
My poor son, he's taking swim lessons in the morning and it's freezing every time he gets in that pool. And I'm just like, it's good for you. Build character.
Yeah. Sorry. You have a warm towel waiting for you.
Yeah. I have to use the towel to wipe off the seats in the morning because it rains every night and the seats are all wet in the morning. And I'm just like, sorry.
Yeah. My bad.
Oops.
I know I stained my deck, like half of it, and half of it's covered. So I stained the part that's covered. And I was like, and I could feel like a little drop of rain. Like I could see it and I was like, oh shit. No. I was like, it's probably not the best time to stain a deck.
No, get little rain droplets everywhere.
Yeah, it didn't touch it, but I was like,
good.
Probably not the best time.
No, but hey, at least it was covered.
I just hate this weather. I want it to be sunny
and ready for it to just be hot and sunny and you can do everything.
I know. Well, we want to sit by the pool and read our books.
Yes.
That's the goal.
I really want to do that.
I know.
I might
do it like once a week for the whole
I'm
summer.
down. Anytime, lovies. Let's go.
Yay.
Okay, so back to the Housemaid, Freida McFaddens.
Oh, she's written a couple others that are very suspenseful. There's sequels to this.
There's sequels to this?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which is, it like leads into like other housemates basically.
Right.
So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think it's semi the same
premise.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I got my fix. I'm going to move on to like a different book.
Right. This lady at football practice recommended The Teacher by her as well. So she said it was really good and creepy and suspenseful.
Ooh. Is that the one that they made into a show?
I'm not sure. Maybe. This was one of Reese's book club picks. Yeah.
Well, this one was also a New York Times bestseller. So like it's
very good. I mean, I literally picked it up and finished it within 4 hours.
Yeah.
Super quick.
Easy
Could
read.
not put it down. Amazing read. Let's do a little recap. In this book, you like how I write my summaries?
I love it. In this book.
I wrote, an ex-con lands a job interview with a wealthy, seemingly normal family. Gets the job because she's literally has no other option. She has to take it. Only to discover there's more secrets and creepiness with the family that meets the eye. Like the room that they put her in.
Oh my God, I know. We'll get to that.
Yes.
So, well, I like how they start it off. Is Millie is looking for a job. She just needs one. She's literally living in her car.
Down on her luck. Super down on her luck.
And she's just like, oh my God, I need it. And you find out that she has been in jail.
For a while. Like 10 years.
Yeah.
So
like prison. I'm sorry, not jail.
Prison. It's like, okay, well, what'd you do, Millie?
And they don't tell you. You kind of, they just get little hints and stuff. And you're just like, why has she been in prison?
Right. It's like, what'd she do?
Yeah. And you start to like her because it's from her side of
her
the
point
story,
of view. Yeah.
At least the first part. And so she interviews with this lady, Nina, to be a full-time live-in housemaid.
Right.
And she's aware of like the daughter allergies. Like no, not even at first, I don't think.
No, she doesn't. The mom doesn't say anything about the allergies at first.
No, allergies.
But the first thing she does is she goes and makes her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something, or crackers.
She's allergic.
She's allergic to peanut butter. But then she goes and asks the dad or the stepdad
to go buy.
And he says that she's not allergic to peanut butter.
So you're just getting all these
back and forth
very contradictory things. Nina one day is like on a high and she's just like screaming and yelling, or like
pulled everything out of the fridge, made a huge mess after Millie had just cleaned the kitchen.
She's just acting psycho. Yeah. And you're like, holy shit, what is going to happen to poor Millie?
Yeah. Millie has no option. She has to stay.
She's like, I'm
no money.
In no place to stay.
No place to go.
She's like, I'm living here. I need the money. This lady is psycho.
Yeah, up and down, up and down.
So then obviously, find this out, is that she starts to feel some feelings for Andy.
Of course, because he's the seemingly normal one. Kind of, he plays it off as, oh, my wife is so difficult to handle.
They're very, very wealthy.
Very, very wealthy.
So Nina doesn't work. She is on some PTA boards a little bit, but everybody thinks that she's a little crazy too.
Well, because she was admitted to a psych ward at one point. And so everybody's like, have you heard about her meltdown or something like that?
Yeah.
And so she's like, what meltdown? What did Nina do?
Yeah, everybody's like giving her
how crazy
hints.
is this woman I'm living with?
And then she's like, this is where you will be living, Millie. And they walk her
shack
up
in the
attic. And it's this tiny little room with a tiny little window that doesn't open. And she's like, and she can see the gardener from up there. And he just like stares at her. And she's like, this is creepy.
And come to find, the door locks from the outside. Her one escape route, the lock is on the outside, so she can't even lock her door. And if she just stayed in prison for 10 years, she's like very conscious about her sleeping habits, so she's like freaking out.
She's asked a bunch of times if I can get the lock changed or removed or whatever.
Nina gives her a key.
And she gives her a key. And then she also wants the window open.
Right.
And I think she says no. Or I'll get it fixed. Yes, I'll get it fixed.
The fridge with the water bottles in it. I was just like, what the hell? At first, I was like, why are there 3 water bottles?
I was like, isn't 1 or 2 or like 2 or 3?
It's three water, mini water bottles, not the real one. Tiny, because it's a mini fridge.
Yeah. It's just like, what is going on?
And a bucket. There's also a bucket in the room. She's like, what the hell? It's just bizarre. Just really bizarre. It pulls you in real nice.
I know. And so she gets to know Andy, and they obviously, there's a night where Nina cannot go to the opera.
Right.
That she specifically asked for tickets.
On that date.
like their anniversary or whatever. But then Andrew's like, I'll take you, Millie. You've never been to the opera and wine and dine in the city. They're in Connecticut, so they go into the city.
They have a room at a hotel book.
Yeah, and he's like, we have 2 separate rooms or whatever.
We'll get you another room. Yeah. Or we'll come home afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the writing on the wall. It's like they're gonna bone.
Yeah, and I think they even do it in the limo or something.
They do. Oh yeah. It's like the moment they get in the hotel.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, we saw that one coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it was very blunt and from the start that they wanted you to go that direction.
Yeah.
To know that for that to happen.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of orchestrated.
Exactly.
Come to find.
Well, I didn't feel like it was. Did you feel like it was orchestrated? No, like from the start, the end of Millie's section. So it's divided. This book is divided into 2 parts. It's Millie's part, and you have Nina's part.
Which I did not see that coming.
Whenever
I was like, oh my God, this is Nina. We're learning about Nina.
I know. So I didn't know that.
I was so pissed at her. I wanted her to I wanted her out of there the first half of the book. Yeah. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this woman?
Same. So how does Millie's part end? It's like Nina finally leaves because she finds out about the affair. Andrew kicks her out. Yeah. He's like, no, I have someone else now who will love me and support me, basically. And Nina, you're gone.
Bye, get out.
I don't want your crazy ass anymore.
Her daughter's not there. She had happened to drop her off at camp or something.
So that she was away.
It was like a perfect storm.
Yes, very orchestrated.
Yeah.
At the time. But we didn't know it was orchestrated.
No, I thought it was just like, oh, wow, what bad luck for Nina that she happens to not be able to go to the opera on the night that she has tickets. And, oh, Millie can go, though.
Yeah, it was weird. And so
weird. It was very well written. Good job, Freida. Snaps for Freida. Got to put it next to Mike.
I loved it. And so here we are with Nina. It was so crazy to say the very first, what does it even say? It was so
she goes
freaking crazy. Thank God I'm out of that house. Thank God I'm here in this hotel room.
She was glad to be gone from Andy, even though from Nina's point or from Millie's point of view, she's acting like she's all hurt. She doesn't want to go. She's going to get her husband back. But then when it switches to Nina's point of view, she's just like, thank God I'm out of that house. I escaped the monster. And I was like, what?
I was like, what is
What
happening?
do you mean? What monster? You're the monster, bitch. And then it's like, well, actually, no.
I can't find it. But yeah, it was insane.
And then she started talking about this was how I planned to leave the monster behind or something like that.
She had to get somebody that had a record, right?
Well, it first goes into the background of her and Andy getting together.
Yes.
She's down and out single mom at a job.
At his law firm, right? Is there a lawyer or something?
Doctor? I thought he was a doctor. Maybe it is lawyer. I don't remember the profession.
It really doesn't even matter. He's a high up person at this
makes a buku of money
firm, whatever, because she's like a secretary,
right? And
she has a kid, and she's just trying to make ends meet. Well, he falls in love with her.
Yeah, he takes her on one date, and then they get married really soon after.
And he's perfect, and she's like, oh my God, I married this perfect man. Everything's great. Well, of course, he starts to abuse her.
Yeah, she does something crazy, doesn't cut her hair or something, and
doesn't dye it.
Doesn't dye her hair. Yeah,
so and she's a blonde, and her roots are starting to show.
And he takes her up to the attic,
and he says,
"Go in there for something," and then locks her in.
And
unless she produces 100 of her hairs, that's what it is. She has to pull out 100 hairs and give them to him. The next time he comes back.
And if there's not exactly 100 hairs.
With the follicle. He said it had to be the follicle. Follicle?
Yeah. If there wasn't 100 hairs, then she'd have to do it again. And she'd have to stay up there and no food. The only 3 water bottles.
That's where the water bottles come in. I was like, oh shit. And
it was so creepy.
It was. That's when you're just like, ew. Andrew is ew.
And at first, Nina is like, what do you mean? What are you doing,
this is
Andrew?
A joke.
This is
let me out.
Let me out. And he's like, no, until your you're well behaved and you know how to like keep yourself groomed properly, then I'll let you out.
Yes. But first you have to give me 100 of your hairs.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
I was just like,
so
she doesn't even do it right the first time.
No,
she has to do it twice. She gives him like 98. Then by the end of the second 100 hairs, she's feeling
cameras
crazy.
in there too, so he can watch her.
He can watch her because he's a creepazoid. And so that's the first instance. And once she gets out of the room, she's like second guessing herself. She's like, did that even actually happen? Because Andrew's so nice when she's not in the room.
Well, and then he's nice when he gets out too.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, okay, like
he's just a psychopath.
Well, yeah, he's a psychopath. And so the second instance, what was it that she had to?
I don't remember what the second instance is, but it just keeps going on. And it's
she's getting locked in there
more
frequently.
More.
It's getting so bad where the daughter,
he uses the daughter as like a like bait almost. Like,
yes, like
I will take Celia.
I'll take her. You're gonna be crazy, and I will take her away from you. And she's like, holy shit, he's about to take my kid.
He makes it to where she's locked in the room, and then when she comes out, Andrew's not there. He had drugged her. He had drugged Nina, and Celia's in a bathtub, and it looks like Celia almost drowned her daughter. So she gets shipped off to a psych ward. Yeah. She tells them all this stuff that she thought she was in a closet, and nobody believes her. Nobody believes her. She even tells her friend. Her friend goes and tells Andy. So that's how she gets locked in the closet again. This guy is literally just got her prisoner. She's a prisoner.
She's a prisoner.
Yeah.
Basically her own house and to her kid, like everybody.
She puts up with this for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Until she
it's a long time. Plan. Until she, is like, I've had enough.
I'm done. The gardener helps her because he sees what's going on.
Enzo.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, Alonzo?
Enzo was so sweet. So obviously she could see, Nina could see Enzo from the window and she'd be like, help, like, I shouldn't be up here. He realizes that she shouldn't be up there. And they start to talk and
he helps her with this plan, basically.
Yeah. They come up with it to make it seem like she can just leave him.
Yeah.
And stuff.
She had to find someone new for Andy to torment, basically. She had to be pretty. She had to have a record so that she has no other option. Can't just leave.
Can't leave.
And the last part, the twist at the end was where she needed somebody to off Andy because Millie had killed someone before.
We find out that Millie had murdered someone. And she also has a very aggressive background that she had
a temper.
She was molested or raped as a kid.
No, her friend was.
And
that's how she killed the guy. She hit him upside the head with like a football trophy or something.
Yeah, like hit him because
murdered him.
She went to jail.
Yeah.
And then there was like another instance though.
It was when she got out.
That's
why she lost her job at the restaurant. Some guy tried to like
touch her leg or something.
Yeah, and she don't be fucking with Millie. Honestly,
she was
she's
just
gonna
no, and she'll
like snap.
Well, it was just like my friend is abused. Like somebody's touching me. I just got out of prison for this. Fuck no.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Like no.
I'm not when men take her those liberties, it irks you, you know. And some people they just snap.
They snap.
Good
and
for
so
Millie.
Millie's like, okay, so poor Nina. She found Millie as a replacement for herself, which is horrible. And she does feel bad about it.
She gains all this weight to make her husband not want to sleep with her.
Yeah.
She pretends like she can't get pregnant. Or she can't. I think she gets her.
No, she goes to a doctor and is like, like the fake. Maybe she gets an IUD put in or something.
That's what it is. She has an IUD.
Yeah.
Yes. So she can't have babies from Andrew, and she makes it seem like she's all depressed about it.
Yeah. And so
lets her hair roots come out.
He doesn't want to sleep with her.
He doesn't want her anymore. He wants Millie.
He wants Millie, who's gonna show him attention, show him all the stuff he can get. So Nina's out.
Yeah, Nina's out the door.
Millie is
done.
So now, when Nina's out, Millie's at home, and she starts. What does she do?
I don't remember what she does wrong, but he goes and locks her in there.
Yeah, and he goes, "You go up there," and she's like, okay.
Something about books. It's the books. She leaves his books out on the dining room table, so he takes her up there. He leaves books in the room, and she has to
lay on
the stomach. To put all 3 big ass books on her stomach for like 8 hours or some shit.
Yeah, it's like a really
long time. And she has to lay there with books on her stomach.
Yeah. And she goes, okay. And I think she does it wrong.
She has to do it twice.
Yeah.
She doesn't have enough water because she drinks it all, of course.
Yeah. And she gets out.
She somehow finagles it to where she gets Andrew in there.
Yeah.
Makes him.
Does she get out first and then she has to go back in a second, or no? She's just like, no, fuck this.
Whenever Andrew comes back in, she has that key.
Yeah.
Remember? So she can lock it behind her. She gets him in there somehow and leaves. And it's like,
locks him in.
Andrew, you need to lay on the floor with those books on your junk.
And he's like, this is a joke, right? And she's like, you just did this to me.
She's got a mean streak and I love it.
Oh, her voice in it was like, you don't get to treat people this way. You get to do it now. And like, it was
all bright and shiny.
Oh yeah, it was so funny. And it was like, good for you, Millie.
Yeah.
So she's like locking this guy in there. Mm-hmm. And now obviously he doesn't have any water because she drank it all.
Yeah.
And so she leaves him up there to die. He doesn't come out. No.
He dies of both dehydration and something else, though. Doesn't she go in there and like
stab him or something?
Something like that. Oh, I can't remember the end. The ending's great.
So yeah, we won't
read the book. Yeah.
But it's crazy. So he doesn't come out of that room.
Mm-mm. They somehow get away with it. Nina comes back because she feels like something's going on, right? Oh, the gardener's like, we haven't seen Millie for 4 days.
4 days. And
that's what it is.
Enzo and Nina are like, something's wrong, and Nina's like, I can't go back there. And Enzo goes, this isn't okay.
Yeah, like
how can you be okay with this? And she's like, okay, I'll go back. And she walks in, and Millie's like, well, he's up there and he's dead. Mm-hmm. And it's like point blank, it was just like, he's dead. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh my God, okay, we'll figure this out.
Yeah, she's like, okay. Nina tells Millie to leave. And that's how the book started, was Nina in the bedroom. Yeah, it was the cop. Oh, man. I don't want to spoil the ending. The ending was so good, though. That twist with the cop. Do you remember?
Oh, the twist was the twist was good. We should tell the twist. Okay,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Don't listen to this if you haven't read it. Because the cop that is investigating this murder is like, he kind of looks at Nina's past too and is like, you've been in a psych ward. That's weird. Millie now is coming in saying kind of the same thing. And they're kind of trying to cover it. Like, oh, he just got locked up there. We didn't know.
Yeah.
And then, but he goes, interesting. Well, my daughter used to date him.
Oh,
or my niece. No, my daughter.
I'm pretty sure it was his daughter.
I think
that's
it's his daughter
why he moved to this area to keep an eye on him.
Yes.
Because they could never put it down that it was
on
his
paper.
Fault. Yeah.
And so he's getting all these things, and you realize his daughter was also abused by him and got out and left and never came back. And I think like changed her name.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
Really fucked up.
Like really fucked him up, like fucked her up. And so he was like,
She got away.
Barely. Nina is saying like, this is traumatizing. Millie's like all fucked up too. Like, so he's understanding this.
Yeah, well, then he's like, well, it sounds like he just had a mishap in the attic and got dehydrated and died.
And you go, oh my God, they got
away with it. They got away with murder again.
God. And so, like, flashes, Nina has all his money.
Yeah.
So she's like super rich.
With Enzo on the beach.
Yeah. In California. They just
They're like out of here.
And Millie got a good recommendation for a job. She, I think, gives even her money. Like, she's okay. Yeah. She's getting back on her feet.
Pals.
They're good.
Nina gives her a recommendation.
So obviously she has to be a mourning widow at the at the funeral.
Tisk tisk, my poor husband.
Let's talk about this mother. Do you remember that?
Oh, the mother. That was the last. I forgot about that. The mother.
This was the biggest twist. So here's another twist.
Because you're wondering throughout this whole thing, it's like, why the fuck does this man just trap women and then
usually, guys, abuse stems from abuse.
Yeah.
If you were abused as a child, technically you're going to do it again. Not necessarily, but it has a very bad pattern of doing that. So we meet the mother, Andy's mother, at the funeral. And She said at one point,
she started the whole. I mean, it was her. She's the one who obviously would lock her poor child
son in the closet or room
for
or wherever.
mundane, weird mishaps.
Yeah, for his braces or something, or his teeth.
Something. The teeth. His teeth. He had to pull out all his teeth.
He had to pull out his teeth.
That was
for
Millie
not brushing.
Millie made him do that because that was a part of. He was like, "Why is he dead with all his teeth out?" Remember?
Yeah, Millie made him pull his teeth out. Yeah, and she
She's
goes,
such a badass. I love that.
That's what it was. Yeah, and then the mom's
it's been a minute since we read
well, good. She's leaning over the casket, saying, "Well, Andy should have learned his lesson then."
Yeah.
And I remember listening to that and being like, "Shut
the mother.
The mother was abusing him the same way."
Yeah, sure enough.
It was so cringy. It was so horrible, and it was such a good twist.
Oh, it was good. The ending is just like cherry on top. So good.
I loved it. It stemmed me from like reading other little suspense horror things. They're so good.
So good. It was a great read. What did you rate it out of 10?
Oh my God. Bro, honestly, I really don't think I've given anything a 10 out of 10 yet.
Probably off. We gave that a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
That's
this one is so close to a 10 out of 10 because
it's like a 9.5 for me.
So I don't know how you could even get it any better.
Really
it was so good.
It's really good.
The beginning was a little slow, but it had to be a slow burn buildup.
It was a slow burn buildup. It was great.
You had to know like the suspense of it, like what's gonna happen? Why is she in prison? Why does Nina act all crazy?
Yeah, where are the cops gonna come in on this part? You know,
yes. And so
who died?
Who's gonna get away with it?
Like chapter 1, it's like somebody's dead in the attic, so you don't know who is dead in the attic.
No.
You don't know whose point of view it is.
You don't know anything,
and so you're just like, who the fuck is gonna die?
It was so good.
It was good.
Honestly, okay, probably a 9.5.
That's what I gave it.
So
literally wrote it down. 9.5.
I just loved it.
So good, y'all.
Would you rename it anything?
The only thing I could rename it was the room in the attic, which is kind of boring.
I had the attic, so
there you go.
Yeah,
close. I think the housemaid works great.
Yeah, because
that's what she is,
and that's why she was hired. I liked it, and I liked the cover. I think that even the cover, if you can see it,
it's been everywhere. I'm sure you've seen it. If you've gone to a Target,
a keyhole, like because he's in the attic looking through.
Yep.
It's just it's so good, guys.
It's a great read for like a road trip, or if you're gonna go sit by the beach for a few days.
Yeah,
just
if you had to kill off anybody.
So this is gonna be super morbid, but I would have killed off that little girl.
Oh my God, me too. I was like, well, murder is terrible. That's so terrible. I know, me too. But I feel like it would have changed maybe the trajectory of something. I think
Nina wouldn't have given a fuck.
Nina would have
She would have straight up murdered him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have, yeah.
It would have changed the whole book. So good. I loved it. Great read. So glad we had a great read for this one.
Yes. It's honestly, guys, it's a perfect, easy summer read that I think anybody would enjoy. So
we definitely recommend it.
All right. I think that's about it.
That's all I've got.
Yep. We will announce our next book July 1st. So stay tuned. Hopefully you guys read this one and keep your eyes peeled on our Instagram page for our next one. So you can keep up with it.
Thanks, guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep. I'm Haley.
I'm Sophia.
Now bye.
Bye.